This video is about interpreting line graphs. Here is a line graph here. Now, let's look at some of the important parts of line graph. We have the title, tells us what the line graph's about. This is about 100-meter winning times in the Olympics. We have two axes. We have the horizontal axis and its title saying year, so this is the year of the race. And then we have the vertical axis here, which is in time, seconds, so that tells us how fast the winning time was for each. And then we have a key here that shows us that the blue line is for men and the red line is for women. So let's answer the questions. Question 1. Approximately how much has the men's 100 meters time decreased from 1960 to 2008? So let's get the 1960 time. So that's here. So that's about 10.3. And the 2008 time is here. So if I go all the way along, that goes down to about 9.7. So if I take those away, I get 0.6. So it's decreased by 0.6 seconds. So question number 2. How many women's races were won in times under 11 seconds? Well, women are in red, so let's bring a line up and put that across 11 so we can see which ones are below it. So we've got one here just here. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there were 7 times. Now, is the gap between the winning times getting bigger or smaller? So it means, is the gap between the 1960s times, is that a bigger gap than in 2008? So in 1960, we have the women's time was roughly 11.2, and the men's time was roughly 10.3 seconds. So let's work out the gap at 0.9 in 1960. Now in 2008, we've got the women's time here, which is roughly 10.8, and the men's time is roughly 9.7. So the gap is now 1.1 seconds. So the gap is getting bigger over time. It's now 1.1 seconds. Lastly, what's surprising about the 1988 times? Well, here's 1988, so it's that time there and that time there. Well, they seem a lot lower than what they should be, okay? Because the performances after it and before it are higher. So can we think of some reasons why? Well, it could be that the conditions were better. They might have a big wind behind them to push them along. It could be an outstanding individual. Or, being that this is athletics, and as you know from news today, it could be something to do with drugs. So there you go. That's a line graph and how to interpret it.